Wife gets screamed at by husband and mother-in-law at airport. Her reaction will make them regret it forever. Sophia had organized everything for the family vacation from A to Z, but at the airport, husband Ryan yelled at her, "Why are you just standing there like a statue? You always ruin everything." Mother-in-law Eleanor also screamed, "Why didn't you book business class? You're being cheap with me." They thought Sophia would bow her head like she always did. But this time, she did something no one expected. She left her suitcase behind, said coldly, "Figure it out yourselves," and turned around and walked away. But that was only the beginning of her brutal revenge plan. When Ryan and his mother landed in Antalya, they discovered the horrifying truth: everything had been canceled. What did Sophia do to them? And before we continue, write in the comments from which country you're watching the video, and also check if you're subscribed to the channel, as I share interesting life stories with you every day. Okay, let's enjoy the story. Sophia had always been a top-notch accountant, meticulous, attentive, able to squeeze the most out of even the bleakest situations. Those traits were prized at work, but as she increasingly realized, they turned into a curse at home. 5 years of marriage had taught her one thing. Ryan had grown used to everything sorting itself out, and behind that itself was always her. Take this beach vacation, for instance. Her idea, her money, her endless hours, hunting for cheap flights, booking a hotel with an ocean view, planning excursions so Ryan wouldn't get bored. Ryan, of course, hadn't lifted a finger. He was busy. Oh, so busy. At work, with friends, in the garage. There was always a reason to dump the organizing on Sophia. Then, once everything was set, he'd brag to his colleagues about how he'd splurged for his favorite ladies. Sophia stayed silent. She'd gotten used to it. That was her role, the background figure ensuring everyone else's comfort. But today, in the taxi on the way to the airport, something inside her cracked. Eleanor Grant, perched in the back seat like a queen on her throne, had already launched into her usual routine. "Sophia, are you sure you've checked everything? Didn't forget the passports? What about the insurance? Ryan's so scatterbrained, he needs constant watching." Ryan, sitting next to Sophia, didn't even twitch. He was glued to his phone, pretending not to hear. Sophia sighed and, trying to stay calm, replied, "Eleanor, everything's fine. All the documents are with me. Insurance is sorted, tickets are printed, don't worry." "How can I not worry when it's all on you?" Eleanor huffed. "Kids these days are so irresponsible." Back in my time, what followed was a tiresome rant about how everything was better, more reliable, and cheaper in her era. Sophia half listened, staring out the window. Gray high-rises, billboards, drab suburban landscapes whizzed by. Suddenly, fear gripped her, the terror that this would be her life forever, doomed to be the convenient, voiceless shadow. Out of nowhere, Ryan peeled his eyes from his phone and yawned. "Mom, why are you starting up again?" Sophia handled everything just fine. Why nitpick? Sophia shot her husband a grateful glance, but regretted it instantly when Ryan, as if apologizing to his mother for that brief defense of his wife, added, "She's a champ. She can do it all." "Right, honey?" Sophia felt anger boiling inside. She can do it all. As if that was her only talent. Organizing other people's comfort. As if she had no desires, no ambitions, no life of her own. "Sure, I can," she muttered through gritted teeth. "What else is left for me?" Eleanor seemed oblivious to the sarcasm. She kept grumbling about how youth had gone wild and how the beach was full of nothing worth seeing these days. At the airport, the chaos and noise only amplified Sophia's irritation. The check-in hall was pandemonium. Massive lines, weary faces. Crying kids, a typical scene for an international airport in peak season. But for Eleanor, it was just more fuel for complaints. "Why such a long line? We're gonna miss our flight," she fumed, fidgeting with her purse handle. "Ryan, you're the man, do something." Ryan, as usual, shoved the responsibility onto Sophia. "Soph, maybe you can ask if there's a way to skip ahead? Mom's blood pressure is spiking." Sophia sighed. She knew full well Eleanor's blood pressure only spiked from life dissatisfaction, but arguing took too much energy. She approached the info desk and inquired about speeding up check-in for an elderly person. The answer was predictable. General queue, no exceptions. Returning to Ryan and Eleanor, Sophia delivered the bad news. Well, I knew it, Eleanor wailed. You always mess things up. Couldn't you have planned ahead, figured out how this works? Eleanor, I did everything I could, Sophia replied evenly. We arrived on time. All documents are in order. The line's just long. It's not my fault. Not your fault? Then whose? You're the one in charge of organizing. Or do you think I'll believe Ryan came up with this vacation? He's a hard worker. No time for nonsense. Sophia stayed silent. This twisting of facts was painfully familiar. Ryan works, so she's the one dabbling in nonsense. It was the same with everything. When their turn finally came, Eleanor griped about the seats. Why not business class? I've dreamed of flying business my whole life, she whined. Eleanor, tickets were booked early. Business was way pricier, Sophia explained patiently. Pricier? They're skimping on me after all I've done for you. Ryan, instead of shutting down the complaints, just shrugged. Mom, why start now? Soph, really couldn't you have done it properly? Sophia felt rage surging. Properly meant whatever suited Ryan and his mom. Had anyone thought of her? Aisle seats? I don't want aisle. I need a window to see the clouds, Eleanor pressed on. Sorry, no other seats available, the airline rep said, eyeing the drama wearily. What do you mean none? You have to fix this, I'll complain. Ryan, tired of his mom's tantrum, jumped in, but in the worst way possible. Soph, why are you just standing there like a statue? Ask nicely. You know how to persuade. Persuade meant humiliate herself. Sophia was done. I already asked, Ryan. No other seats, she snapped. What's with you today? Ryan barked back. You always ruin everything. Can't behave normally? Stay home then. And that's when Sophia did something she never expected from herself. She looked at Ryan, then Eleanor, then her suitcase, and felt relief. Fine, she said calmly. I'll stay. Ryan and Eleanor exchanged glances. They clearly hadn't seen this coming. What do you mean, stay? Have you lost your mind? Eleanor sputtered. Figure it out yourselves, Sophia replied, her voice steady with newfound confidence for the first time in ages. Ryan frowned. Soph, don't be ridiculous. We're going on vacation. You can't just I can, Ryan. I've decided. She grabbed her suitcase and stepped toward the check-in exit. Ryan tried to stop her. Sophia, cut it out. You offended? Ignore Mom. You know how she is. I know, Ryan. I know everything. She yanked free from his grip. Stay if you can't behave, he yelled after her, mimicking her tone. Sophia smirked. That's exactly what he'd said, and she stayed, but not how he expected. She watched as Ryan and Eleanor, muttering and cursing, headed to boarding. They thought they'd punished her, put her in her place. They had no idea they'd set her free. Sophia left check-in and pulled out her phone. No tears, no shaky hands, just calm, icy resolve. She stared at the screen like it was a control panel for her own life, one she'd let others hold for too long. First, the bookings. She found the confirmation she'd printed, once excited for this family trip. What a hypocritical word. Family. Her fingers flew, canceling the hotel reservations under Ryan and Eleanor's names. No apologies, no explanations, just cancel. The system flagged penalties, but Sophia didn't care. Freedom had a price, and she was willing to pay. Next, the transfer search. Confirm, ruthless cancel. She pictured their faces when the ride left without them. The fleeting satisfaction felt almost shameful, but she didn't push it away. She'd earned this tiny bit of schadenfreude. Now for herself. Sophia opened the airline app. Business class. She'd always dreamed of it, but Ryan called it a waste. Better use that for another week in a standard hotel, he'd say. Clueless how that standard grated on her. She picked a window seat, far from noisy kids and nosy neighbors, and added her own airport transfer. No more stuffy buses or drab cabbies, just comfort and peace. Last on her list, the call. She scrolled to Lily's name, her friend who'd moved abroad to the coast years ago. They rarely talked, but stayed connected online. Sophia knew Lily would never judge, always understand and support. The rings dragged on agonizingly. She doubted Lily would pick up, but then her voice came through. Sophia. Oh my God, it's been forever. How are you? Hey, Lil. Slight change of plans here. What happened? You sound excited? Sophia took a deep breath. I've broken free. Broken free? Like, divorced? Not yet, but it's coming. I just ditched the vacation, the husband, his mom. Lily paused, processing. And where'd you run to? To you, if you're okay with it. I've got a ticket on the next flight. Business class. Sophia couldn't hold back a chuckle. Sophia, you're crazy. But I love it. Of course. Come. I'm always thrilled to have you. My guest room with the ocean view just freed up. Ocean view. That's exactly what I need. Then I'm waiting. Text when you land. I'll meet you at the airport. Thanks, Lil. You have no idea how much I need your support right now. Don't thank me. That's what friends are for. See you soon. Sophia hung up, tension easing. She eyed her business class ticket, Lily's message. It all felt unreal, but it was true. She'd done it. She'd escaped the vicious cycle, shattered the chains that had bound her for so long. Meanwhile, in Antalya, Ryan and Eleanor stepped off the plane, buzzing with anticipation for their long-awaited break. Eleanor immediately scanned for a sign with their name. She was sure Sophia had organized everything perfectly, as always. Ryan was chill too. He was used to Sophia handling it all, never imagining a hitch. But no sign. Eleanor got jittery. She marched to info and demanded their transfer. The airport staff checked the computer and shook her head. Sorry, the booking under your names is canceled. Canceled? By who? This is a mistake, Eleanor raged. I don't know by whom, but the system shows it's annulled. Ryan approached his mom. What's wrong? No transfer. They say the booking's canceled. Ryan scowled. I'll sort it. He dialed Sophia. Ring, ring, ring. No answer. He texted. Sophia, where's our transfer? What's going on? Delivered, but no reply. Ryan fumed, convinced Sophia was just sulking over his airport words and plotting revenge. She'll pay for this, he thought. They grabbed a cab to the hotel. Eleanor griped the whole way, too hot. Headache, driver lost. Ryan tuned her out. At the hotel, another shock. The admin checked their passports and said the reservation was canceled that morning. Canceled how? Ryan roared. We booked months ago. It was annulled today, but I can offer other rooms if available. What rooms? We need the suite with ocean view. No suites free. How about a standard with courtyard view? Courtyard? You're joking. Eleanor was furious. Mom, calm down, Ryan tried. We'll figure something, but nothing worked. Nearby hotels were packed. Prices for leftovers skyrocketed. Ryan and Eleanor were desperate, stranded in a foreign country. No lodging, no ride, no cash. Ryan tried calling Sophia again. Nothing. He fired off another angry text. Sophia, you nuts? Did this on purpose? You'll regret it. Read, but silent. Just 2 blue checks, like mockery. Ryan was livid. He couldn't believe Sophia was capable. He'd always seen her as quiet, obedient, family first. Clearly, he'd been wrong. Eleanor was stunned, too. She couldn't fathom Sophia doing this. She'd always thought Sophia owed her, should be grateful Ryan married her. Ungrateful, she seethed. They slumped in the hotel lobby, exhausted, angry, lost. Their dream vacation, a nightmare. Ryan eyed his mom's sour face and felt a pang of guilt. Maybe he'd been unfair to Sophia, demanded too much, taken her care for granted. But the thoughts fled. Anger won. She's still at fault, he told himself. She should have planned better, been smarter. Ryan scrolled online for cheap lodging, anything to avoid the streets. Eleanor kept whining, but he ignored her, focused on salvaging his trip. Meanwhile, Sophia soared in business class, sipping chilled champagne, gazing at clouds outside her window. She didn't think of Ryan or Eleanor. She thought of herself, her future, the new life ahead. She opened Ryan's messages, skimmed his rants, and marked them read. No explanations, no defenses. Just silence, louder than words. Sophia lounged on Lily's balcony. Her light seafoam dress hugged her frame, bare feet tingling on cool tile. In her hand, a fizzy fruit drink. Ahead, the sea merged with a soft pink sunset sky. Waves whispered soothingly, and Sophia felt years of tension draining away. Her phone buzzed nearby with notifications. She knew who. Ryan. Probably furious accusations. Previews flashed. "You crazy? How could you?" Mom's horrified. But Sophia didn't rush to reply. No guilt, no fear, just surprise at how easy the decision felt, how long she'd let others dictate her life. Lily stepped out, second cocktail in hand, her blonde hair tousled by the breeze, eyes sparkling mischievously. "So, how's the view?" she asked, handing over the glass. "Stunning," Sophia replied, sipping. The mix was surprisingly tasty sweet fruits with a tangy bite. "Thanks for taking me in." "Psh," Lily waved off, settling into the chair beside her. "You know there's always room for you. Plus, it's lonely here solo. Spill what went down. Saw your texts but didn't dive deep." Sophia sighed and recounted. Eleanor's endless gripes, Ryan always siding with Mom, her role as buffer, her needs shoved aside. She spoke calmly, no hysterics like retelling a book plot. "And you know, Lil," she finished, "the scariest part? I got used to it. Used to fixing everything, organizing, smoothing over serving everyone else's interests. Then I looked in the mirror and realized I was vanishing. I wasn't there anymore." Lily listened silently, then squeezed Sophia's hand. "You're brave for this," she said sincerely. "It's a bold move. You didn't vanish, Soph. You were just buried deep. Now you're waking up." Sophia smiled, sad but hopeful. "I don't even know what's next," she admitted. "I've never lived alone. It's terrifying." "Fear's normal," Lily replied, "but don't let it paralyze you. Remember skydiving in college? Scary as hell, but the rush after?" Sophia laughed, recalling their wild stunt years back. "Unforgettable." "Exactly," Lily continued. "Think of this as jumping into a new life. Terrifying at first, then pure flight." They fell silent, admiring the sunset. Sophia's phone vibrated on, but she ignored it. Only this mattered. Quiet, sea, friend nearby. Freedom slowly filling her soul. In a cheap Antalya hotel, Ryan perched on the bed's edge, furiously typing to Sophia. Face red with rage, eyes helpless. "You get what you've done?" Mom's in shock. Nowhere to stay. "Know how much a decent room costs peak season? Fix this now." He sent it and glared at Eleanor, sobbing on the next bed. "Why the tears?" he snapped. "You pushed her to it." "Not me," Eleanor whimpered. "She was always off too independent, too smart." I said she wasn't right for us. "Who cares who's right?" Ryan yelled, losing it. "Where'll we live? Streets?" "She should have thought of us," Eleanor mumbled, wiping tears. "After all our help," Ryan rolled his eyes. Help Eleanor's constant nitpicks and criticism. He knew Sophia carried the family, ensured their comfort. But admitting it? Number easier to blame her. He checked his phone. No reply. Just read. It enraged him more. "I'll get her," he started, but trailed off. What could he do? Force her back? He knew it was impossible. Sophia had never been this stubborn. He'd always coaxed, convinced, guilted her. But now, something shifted. He'd lost control. Ryan sighed heavily, flopping back. Empty. Confused. For the first time, he didn't know. Next steps. He'd grown reliant on Sophia, always there, helping, fixing. Now gone, he faced his issues alone, with his eternally unhappy mother. On Lily's balcony, Sophia gazed at stars dotting the dark sky. Lingering nerves, but fear faded. She closed her eyes, inhaling sea air. For the first time in ages, she felt alive. This was just the start, a new life where she'd decide everything, one valuing herself and her wants, one where she'd be happy. The surrounding silence didn't oppress, it soothed. Silence where she could hear herself and she liked what she heard. All right, thanks for listening.